welcome to another episode of Stitches and Sprinkles. I'm Hillary, and this is my podcast about knitting, sewing, any crafting that I get up to really, but mostly knitting and sewing, some yarn dyeing talk, and I am learning to spin this year. So anything's possible. Happy 2023, everyone, and thanks for joining me for another episode. I'm really excited to be back with you and hoping to do this in such a way that I can get it edited and uploaded pretty quickly and not have so much delay in these next few episodes. If you see me looking down, my notebook is down, so just bear with me. Before we jump into the meat and potatoes of it, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. This is a ready-to-wear black t-shirt, super exciting, but I do have on my trusty Lander pants. They're a little wrinkly because I've been sitting at my desk doing my day job most of the day, so I am wrinkly from sitting at the computer, but still some me-made to speak of. What I have for you today is going to be a couple of finished objects, a couple of whips, and a few acquisitions because I have visited two of my local yarn shops since the last time I recorded. So I'll tell you about those places and about the things that I bought, and we will see what else comes to my mind before I press stop. But that's what I've written down for my notes, so here we go. Finished objects. So I feel like I've kind of lost my Sojo a little bit recently. I don't know why. Maybe it's because most of the sewing that I have been doing is for classes that I'm teaching or business related things and not just like my own wardrobe creation. The last garment that I sewed for myself was the maxi length Reynolds dress, and there's like yarn fuzz everywhere, so please forgive any fuzzies you see in the camera. But it was that maxi length Reynolds dress in the yarn dyed linen, and that was about a month ago, so not awful, but I really just felt like knitting. It's cozy, it's winter time, it's not cold today, it's exceptionally warm in Georgia, but it has been very cold, like in the single digits and teens right around Christmas Day. So I've just felt like being bundled up under a quilt on the couch knitting, and that's okay. I'm not going to force it. I've got plenty of fabric. It'll be there for me when I'm ready. But I have managed to do a couple of gift sews, and one I can show you. The other one I'll have to tell you about because it's already in the mail. My godmother wanted some new cushion covers for her couch setup, so she picked out this fabric, and I did 4 piped zippered cushion covers for part of her Christmas gift, and I will get to celebrate a little bit. We're not really getting together for Christmas, but I will see my extended family that I did not see on Christmas because we were in Florida with my husband's family this year. I will see them this coming weekend, so I will get to give those to her and her other presents, and my godfather, my uncle, his present too. So that's exciting. I did 4 of those. They turned out really nicely, and it really makes me want to sew up new cushion covers for our couch because I do not like them. They are not comfy. That is very comfy and very soft fabric. So the other thing that I can't show you that's already in the mail is that I made some mug rugs for my colleagues. So I did a fusible on their initials. I used my Cricut Maker to cut out their initials. And then I appliqued initials onto 5-inch by 8-inch mug rugs so that there's room for them to like put a cup of tea and like a biscuit or something if they're going to have an afternoon coffee break. And hopefully just make their desk pretty and let them know that I care about them and that they really make my full-time work life very enjoyable. But I used some really pretty Rifle Paper Company fabric that I got from Michelle over at Mish Quilts. Yeah, so that was fun. A quick sew, but I think they'll appreciate that. They're all really kind-hearted ladies, so I'm excited to share that with them, and I hope it gets there soon. I feel bad that it's late, but they all understand, so it's okay. So that's really all that I've finished. I have been working on things, though. I have 2 knitting works in progress. One is, sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not dropping any stitches. One is these DRK Everyday Socks. This is a pattern by Drea Renee Knits, Andrea Mowry. It is a fingering weight 2x2 ribbed sock. It's pretty basic. It's like pretty basic sock recipe in however, I really like it because the problem that I've been having with the socks that I've been making since I tried my first pair of socks in the summer of 2019, I think, and I just did a vanilla sock. And what I'm finding is that I don't get enough negative ease. So the socks that I wear and wore before I started knitting my own socks were the athletic socks that have a lot of negative ease, and they kind of suction around your foot and make your foot feel held tightly in them. I don't know how else to describe it. I think you guys probably all know what I mean if you've worn a sock like that. But the socks that I've been making, even when I try to adjust the pattern, even when I go down a size, change my needles, whatever, they don't have enough negative ease, and they start not tight enough, but then by the end of the day, they have just like bagged out and they don't feel good in my shoes anymore. So I'm trying to, hi Linus. I'm trying to see if this is the solution to my problems, and I think it might be. And I'm pretty excited because Andrea Mowry also just did the Bear Paw, which is basically the DK version of this. Susan Knitlib has been knitting them nonstop, and I'm really inspired to hopefully try that next if I decide that I like this. These do look exceptionally long and crazy, but they actually fit my feet. I wear a 9.5 women US or a Europe, I think a European 40. So I do not have small feet. But yeah, and then this yarn is actually one of the acquisitions that I was going to talk to you about, and I'm doing these 2 at a time, so it's just a hot mess over here. This is Circus Tonic Handmade, and the colorway is Amelia. This is on her lighter sock base. I believe it's the Jubilee sock. It's like 466 yards per skein. She is an Australian dyer, and I had heard her talked about on different knitting podcasts, but I was excited to find her at one of my local yarn stores, Yarning for You in Atlanta, over in the Vinings area, if you're familiar with Atlanta geography. So this was not a cheap skein, but I am enjoying working with it, and I really like this colorway. I think it's going to be a nice neutral for my wardrobe, and I've got it in one of the project bags that I make. So that's my drawstring handled project bag, and I am going to be making up some more of these and putting them in my shop. So check it out, gardenofedenfibers.com. If you're in the market for project bags, I'm going to be ordering a new color of waxed cotton canvas for this year. Last year's color was golden, a canary yellow, excuse me, not golden, canary yellow. And I'm thinking about doing this year either a green, like a sagey green, maybe olivey green, or a navy. So we'll see. We will see. The other whip is also on yarn that I have acquired since last we spoke, but this is a ribbed Musselburgh hat. Ribbed in which I was inspired by Nitty Natty Natalie because she made her husband a hat for in like the Dallas Stars colorway, and I noticed my husband wearing kind of like a, I guess a pilling like ready to wear hat, and I was like, oh, maybe he needs a new hat. I had originally bought this yarn with the intention of making him socks, but then I got the yarn home and I got to thinking about it, and I saw his older hat, and I was like, well, do you want socks or a hat? And he said he wanted a hat, but he wanted it to be snug on his head. He works outside some of the year, depending on whether it's indoor sports or outdoor sports, so he does need like warmer gear sometimes. And when he said he wanted it snug, I was like, oh, well, I thought back to Natalie's podcasts recently, and I was like, I'll just make you a all over ribbed Musselburgh hat. Because I have that pattern and I know it works because I've made myself one and it's really comfy. So yeah, and he is a University of Florida fan, so despite the fact that I am not a University of Florida fan, go Dogs, I am making this in UF colors for him. And again, this is another acquisition from a local yarn store. Sorry, I've got stuff everywhere. This is String Theory Colorworks in Observer Effect. It is a self-striping, as you saw, with extreme blue, dark gray, medium gray, and white. And then in order to make it Florida, I added in Madeline Tosh Unicorn Tails in Citrus. And I got 2 unicorn tails, and then this is 100 gram skein. And this is an 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon, so it's pretty soft. The unicorn tails are soft too, but the camera can't handle it. It's very orange. There we go. They're slightly different, but they're working well together. They're working well together. Yeah, so those are my 2 works in progress. I am trying to start and finish things within about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the size of the project. Because I got this yarn at Eat Sleep Knit, which is in Dallas, Georgia. I got this yarn at Eat Sleep Knit. And when I went over there, I was reminded that they have this thing called the Yarnathon, and you get yardage points for purchasing yarn, yardage points for finishing projects, for doing flash craft alongs, and other challenges that they come up with. So I did not go into the store intending to like actively participate or even remembering that that was a thing that they did. But when I was in there, I was like, oh, well, this is motivational. And even though I dye my own yarn, I do still buy other yarn because sometimes it's just fun to work with other things. And I don't dye everything. Like I have not gotten into self-striping yarn. I'm actually looking into making a warping board and starting to do self-striping yarn, but I haven't gotten there yet. And I had actually never worked with a self-striping yarn. So when I saw that, I was like, this is what I want. And the team there is just really nice, and they have a really huge selection. And I'm very fortunate that I'm close enough that when I want to, I can just go walk around and be inspired. They do have an amazing online store, and their website is very well done, and it's very easy to navigate. And you can even participate in the Yarnathon without ever physically setting foot in the store. But I'm lucky enough that I'm close, so I can if I want to. So yeah, those are 2 works in progress and 2 whips, and 2 acquisitions all in one fell swoop. But while I was at Eat Sleep Knit, I did buy some other stuff. So let me grab that. I got another size 0 set of ChiaoGoo shorties because, as you saw, I like to do my socks 2 at a time. One from the inside of the ball and one from the outside of the ball so that I don't get second sock syndrome. While I was there, I bought another set of those so that I could stop doing magic loop because I don't like to do magic loop unless I'm on the gusset or another part where I'm going back and forth. If I'm in the round, I really prefer to be on the 9-inch circulars. So I got those, and I got a bottle of Soak in the Celebration scent, and this is actually for part of a gift. I got some Flatter in the Pineapple Grove scent, which goes with my Pineapple Grove soak that I'm personally using right now, but this is their version of a starch-free smoothing spray. So I just thought this would be nice to try in lieu of, I have been using Best Press, and it's not my favorite, so I'm going to try that out. I also got this Love and Leche lotion bar. This is the rosemary lavender. And it's a solid, oh, look at the cute little lammies cuddling. It's a solid, oh, it smells so good. Solid lotion bar. Sorry, I got really distracted. It smells so good. I love all things lavender. So, and I also got a mini one of those to put in my purse because I'm forever needing lotion. I swim a lot. I knit a lot. So my hands take kind of a beating. And then I also got the Clover large pom-pom maker because why, I don't know, but I did see someone making really cool pom-poms on Instagram Reels, like the Christmas tree pom-pom. It probably popped up in your feed if you have any sort of knitting content whatsoever in your Instagram. And it was just beautiful. And I was like, I want to do that. I don't have a pom-pom maker. Why don't I have a pom-pom maker? And then I saw this and it was not very expensive at all. And I was like, I'm getting that. So I did. Yeah. And Eat Sleep Knit gives you like scratcher lotto tickets when you shop with them. So you can scratch them off and get like store credit or extra yardage towards Yarnathon and so on and so forth. So it's really fun, and it's very fun to just wander around. It's a ginormous store. Maybe next time I go, I'll shoot some footage and do like a ESK walkthrough, because if you live far away and you never get to go, it is so much fun. So tell me in the comments if you'd like to see that, if you'd be interested in an ESK walkthrough. And maybe I'll make that part of my vlogging plans for the year. But that's all I have for you today. It's a relatively short episode, and I shouldn't have to do much editing because I didn't flub anything too bad. So the last thing I'll say is that I have found a new to me vlog, Stitches and Starlight. I'll tag Tashi below, but if you have not watched Tashi yet, I definitely recommend her. It's very entertaining, very educational, and it's really dangerous, but she does actually make me want to process a fleece, which is not okay. I do not need any. I'm gonna do spinning first. I'm taking a spinning class in a couple weeks. I'll start there, see if I like it, and then maybe we'll go down the rabbit hole later. But that's all for now. Thanks for joining me. If you would be so kind as to like and subscribe, it really does help other people find me. And I'll be back sooner than, hopefully sooner than later with another video to share my work. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.